NFL Week
Niffle!
3.
Week
We just had
Trace!
two absolutely
Three.
fire weeks of NFL action, and there are
Alright.
some really good matchups in this game
Trey
or in
McBride.
this week. Mike, you and I to start. I'm not going to talk about our card records, but I just have to throw it out there.
You guys are betting
Both well above
No,
60% on the season on our
NFL is-
cards.
Fade Mike is dead.
This is a show, yeah.
Fade
if you're-
Ryan is back.
If you're in the business, if you're in the business of finding out someone who's hot at picking games and following them, you're gonna want to stick around and see what me and Mike have to pick because we're absolutely on fire.
Oh, yeah.
Conversely, if you're trying to fade someone, Mario and Ryan, two great options on the end.
I'm
here.
fantastic.
We've
60%.
got
Ice cold.
basically everything you need in a pick show. We
You're
have
welcome.
coming up.
You just
right
gotta
here.
find the pattern.
And we have some really good games to talk about.
There's
First
no way
up-
Mike could collapse like this, right?
No, there's no way.
No. Impossible.
First, absolutely insane game. Two undefeated teams. Los Angeles Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles 3.5 point home favorites. Total 44.5. Mike, you're a Rams fan.
Yep.
The Eagles do look like a
juggernaut.
buzzsaw that will just do whatever it takes to win. But we're talking cover here. Where's your brain going on this one?
Yeah, I mean, look, first of all, the Eagles are for sure still a Super Bowl caliber team. They look like it, they're playing like it, and they just go out and they win games. They don't need to win by 40 or this isn't college, but they win and they tell you that they're the better team throughout all four quarters.
And as they're taking a knee.
And as they're taking a knee,
Jalen-
you're like,
Jalen
holy
Hurts
smokes,
killing
this guy does
Chris
it
Jones.
really
Shout
well.
out Chris Jones.
Yeah, shout out Chris Jones.
But with that being said, I do really feel like the Rams pose a difficult threat for anybody in the league. And we do have a significant opportunity to win. And I think utilizing what we saw last week with Devontae Adams really breaking out, becoming that
Wide receiver
true.
one.
Well, I mean, just a secondary threat against defenses, making it extremely difficult to scheme against. Honestly, this is kind of like when we had Cooper Kupp and Puka, but a little bit obviously more developed than that because, Puka became a wide receiver one. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is we have two wide receiver one caliber people, which is extremely threatening to anybody. With that being said, our defensive run needs to shape the hell up. I mean, we are letting everybody run miles and miles on us, and it is not okay. The fact that we have such talent for our pass rush is insane, and it's amazing, but somehow against the run, we fall apart. And not only that, but our secondary, when it comes to like high explosive plays, over the past two games, we've had a significant amount of plays develop that are 25 plus yards or more. And that just can't happen against an explosive Eagles team with Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and just high caliber offensive weapons. So I think we could do it, but we really need to shape up and utilize our offensive weapons. I want it to be high scoring, so I'm taking the over, and of course I'm riding the Rams.
Yeah. I don't think you could say explosive and AJ Brown in the same sentence. I just want to throw that out there as someone who's drafted him in fantasy.
Even Devontae Smith.
Yeah, there has not been
He
a
had a
lot
couple
of
deep balls.
explosions on this team. I like the Rams. Look, the Rams are like in my top 5 favorite teams. Obviously, I'm a Steelers fan, but I root for teams in LA. But this season so far is a tale of two different teams. Look, the Rams played two of the worst teams in the entire NFL to go 2-0.
That's hot.
They played two teams that are 0-2. They played the Texans. They won by 5 points, and then they won by 14 in Tennessee. They're probably a bottom 3 or 4 team in the NFL. So I haven't seen anything from the Rams, just schedule-wise, that's really impressed me a whole lot. They haven't dominated in the fashion I thought they would, but their offense is extremely explosive. The Eagles, on the other hand, have shown just an absolute willingness to neutralize whatever the other team's best thing is. So, if the other team runs the ball a lot, they're just going to let you throw the ball. And if the other team throws the ball a lot, they're just going to see if you can run the ball on them. Probably the best coach team in the NFL right now. We saw that last year all throughout the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and we've seen it to start this season. I mean, they did not care how many yards they had against the Chiefs. They just won the game, walked on, covered the spread. So that's what they're going to do on this one. I'm all over the Eagles, minus the 3.5. I think they absolutely take care of the Rams, especially in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. I think this Eagles team is just doing what the Chiefs used to do. I mean, just you have the best roster in football.
Yeah.
Might as well just win. It doesn't matter what the score is. If you win, you win. Like, it literally doesn't matter. I'm going to bet them every single week to cover because maybe I'll lose one of these weeks because they'll win by 2 instead of 3.5, 4.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna bet the Eagles. I'm obsessed with the under in this game, though. I think these are two competitive teams, and the Eagles aren't doing what they like. Last year was a prove it year for them, where they had to score 40 or get
Yes.
50. This year, it's more of like 21-10, perfectly fine. Everyone's happy. So I love the under in this game, obsessed, and then I'm leaning Eagles just because I'm betting them every week.
Mario?
Couldn't agree more with Ryan. Yeah, I do think this game will be a little bit closer than people realize because the pass rush for the Rams is no joke. And I don't think the Eagles' secondary, like specifically one-on-one, like man coverage, corners, I don't think they're all
They haven't
that.
looked the best. Yeah.
And you do have Devontae Adams and Puka, so like you can't underestimate that. But like Tyler said, I think they'll just come out and just say, okay, Stafford's not going to beat us.
Yeah.
If Kyron Williams goes for 200, then clap it up for him. But yeah, I just like the Eagles in the spot.
Fair enough. Next big game. I think this is the Sunday night game, right? This Lions. Oh no, sorry, Monday night game.
Monday night.
Lions at Ravens. Now this is a really really cool game. Both these teams are 1-1, but in a lot of people's minds, these are two of the best 5 teams in football. I mean, the Lions lost a Week 1 game, to the Packers, who a lot of people have won in the power rankings. And then the Ravens lost that absolutely unbelievable barn burner 2 weeks ago in Buffalo. Yeah. So these are two offenses that can score a lot. The total kind of tells you that. Total 51.5. Ravens are 5.5 point home favorites. So Vegas likes them a little more than they like the Eagles. Mario, when you look at this game, how are you dicing this one up? Because I kind of like took a bunch of different approaches to this one. So I'll wait till it's my turn. But how do you feel about this?
Yeah, when I look at this matchup, I actually think it's fairly simple if you don't get caught up in what the Lions did last week and you kind of see the bigger picture. I know the record says 1-1 for the Ravens. Like they're a 2-0 team, like caliber in terms of strength.
It's more of 2-0 with an asterisk.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're that caliber of team. They're a team that 9 times out of 10 take down the Bills week 1. Like that's how strong this team is. You can't forget. And then you have to remember what Jared Goff looked like outside of a dome week 1. I know they were going against a Packers defense that I said last week, is I think one of the best in the NFL. But there's just such a clear history of Goff's performances inside a dome and outside. It's going to be night, outdoor, Baltimore. I like Ravens -5.5. Easy.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm similar with Mario in the sense that I'm taking the Ravens here. I just think, the Lions last week in the Ben Johnson Bowl, as it was so astutely named, was really just a flash in the pan showing that their offense can, throw up 50 points or however many points they put up. But in reality, I really don't think this is going to be a standard of operations for their offense, and I don't think that they're going to be able to keep that same intensity week in and week out. This is a very good Ravens defense that is going to pose a much higher threat and much more difficult problem than the Chicago Bears. For that reason, I'm taking the Ravens and I'm taking them large.
So I think this is going to probably be the most skewed public betting line of the week. I'm trying to see this from strictly as covering the spread angle. The Ravens are the better football team here, and they're at home, and it's a primetime game, and it's out of a dome. So, I think you're really going to end up with most of the public handle, probably 75-80% on the Ravens covering here, which I'm not saying is a bad bet. I just think that's going to be a reality. The line might even move, honestly. But I don't want to get too... the Ravens have an amazing offense, and I'm not taking that away from them. But I don't think we should just convince ourselves they're going to score 41 points every week. That Bills game, they had to score that many points because both offenses were insane. Granted, that might be what this game looks like. But at the end of the third last week, it was 20-10 versus the Browns. The game was pretty much over. The Browns were just handing the ball away. I mean, they ended up scoring 21 points in the fourth quarter when the game was already kind of sealed. And so I'm not that wasn't one of those crazy offensive explosion games. They rushed for 40 yards. It's probably the lowest ever in the Lamar Jackson era. I'm not completely sold that this Ravens offense is going to do this every week. And I think the Lions just ended up playing the Packers week 1, who at the time we didn't know, but I think we're starting to find out might have the best defense in the NFL. And so I'm definitely taking the Lions plus the 5.5 here. I think for spread, as far as spreads go, this is one of my favorite lines of the week because I think everyone's going to be on the other side. I think the Lions are going to be able to score points. Their offense looked extremely capable last week. And I don't think the Ravens are going to score as much as people think they are. So I love Lions staying inside this number.
Yeah. The Ravens are the best team in football right now, in my opinion.
Wow.
Nothing like, I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl, but right now, currently, I can match them up even with the Eagles. I would rather have Lamar Jackson, and I think this team's unstoppable. Last week, you were talking about they only scored 20 and then scored 21 in the game. Still points, no matter how you get them, and they had their worst rushing game I've ever seen in my life, and they scored 41 points.
Yeah.
The worst rushing game they've ever seen in their life, and they covered easily. I think this will be the same exact thing. Lamar's going to win his third MVP. This will be putting himself up as number one after this game. I think he has like the most ridiculous game of all time. This Lions defense has always had problems, has always been problematic for me. I have no clue how they stopped the Ravens. They've never stopped anyone ever. Like even last year when they were the regular season team, they would still win by scoring 40 or 50. Nothing about this Detroit team stands out. Their offense could hang in a shootout, but like Mario said, I'm never trusting Goff in a dome. So I like the over. I think Lamar scores 41 again for the third straight week, and Ravens rout him.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Those are our big games for the week. Let's go ahead and get into the cards so you can see all of our picks. Last week, as I hinted to at the beginning of the episodes, we had a really, really, really big week, both for riding and fading. I was 68% on the season after last week.
Hello.
After I promised you not only I'd be over 60% of the season, but I have over a 60% week. I was, I believe it was 77.7% last week
that's winning.
on the card. Absolutely crushed it. Moved me to first place, 68%, like I mentioned. Michael Yoon, 75% week, brings him up to 62% on the season.
He's back.
We are on fire.
I've never
Absolutely
been
on
here
fire.
before, actually.
Mario,
Yeah,
50% week.
Yep. Told you I started
Building,
back.
but building off of a week 1 25%, you're now at 35%.
Yep.
Ryan, 41% on the season, same as college, 5-8 last week. We're gonna bounce back this week. Slow start to the season,
Gagai.
but
No, it's tough.
I think it's time. I think it's time to get into it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and give you the picks.
Yeah, this is tough. Last week or this year, these 2 weeks, whatever it's been. I'm not gonna say fade. I'm not gonna say fade Ryan yet because I'm confident in myself bouncing back. But we are close to giving you fade picks at 60%, and that's not good. So bounce back week here. You need to flip it around. Starting off, Bills Dolphins over 49.5. I don't know how it's gonna happen. They're gonna score $1 million. Oh wait, I do know how it's gonna happen. Bills team total over 31.5. Bills are gonna rout them. Falcons minus 4.5 versus the Panthers. Love this play. I really don't see the Panthers being that good. Falcons should be a walk. Packers Browns under 42.5. I think Packers win easily, but these have good defenses, both sides. Not a lot of points. Steelers Patriots over 44.5. Steelers defense is maybe the worst in the league, if not one of the worst in the league.
It's up there.
So they're going to give up 1 billion points, and hopefully they score 1 billion points and win the game. Rams, Eagles, under 44.5. I see no points in this game. Eagles just control. Colts minus 3.5 versus the Titans. It's the wagon Titan fade every week for the whole year. Only bet I'm going to win this entire year. Vikings, Bengals, over 41.5. Two backup quarterbacks might be playing. That means points. I don't know how, but it will. Seahawks minus 7 versus the Saints. Absolute lock. Niners, Cardinals, over 43.5. Bears, Cowboys, under 15.5. No points. Weird, but no points. Chiefs minus 5.5 versus the Giants to get their first win of the year. Crazy to say. Ravens, Lions, over 51.5. Ravens team total over 28.5, which is lock. And last bet, Texans plus 1.5 versus the Jags.
Wow.
We're bouncing back.
So it feels like a bounce back week.
We have to.
I like it.
So we've never, in the history of the show, actually, for more than 2 weeks, have anyone go over 70% on a season.
Hello.
I'm at 68%. So I'm guaranteeing you, like I guaranteed last week, not only am I going to go over 60%, I'm bringing my season total above 70% with this week's card.
That's sharp.
You're going to want to bet
better
every
ride.
single one of these games. 2 of them we already talked about. Eagles minus 3.5, Lions plus 5.5. Here's the remaining picks. Steelers minus 1.5 at New England. The Patriots are not really a very good team. They're not. The Steelers, I think, figure it out on defense. What they were known for was their defense. There's a couple missing pieces. We're giving up big, weird chunk plays. We're letting 3rd and 11s, 3rd and 12s just happen. The score of the Seahawks game was extremely deceiving. They scored on their own kickoff. And then there was a couple times, it was like 3rd and 13, 3rd and 11, that they kept converting with like weird blown coverages. I think they shore up the defense because that hasn't been an issue the last 5 seasons, and our offense continues to kind of hum the way it has been. So I'm obsessed with the Steelers, and I am a fan, but I love this line. Commanders minus 2.5 at home against the Raiders. Bet this line as soon as you can, because I don't know by the time we post the video if this is going to be the same. But the Commanders have looked a little weird on offense. They're going to get that figured out. This Raiders team is not good. The Chargers move the ball all over the Raiders. And I think the Commanders have a similar offense to the Chargers. So love that line. Falcons minus 4.5 at the Panthers is a wagon bet. That is one of those that people will try to overthink because it's a divisional game and it's an away game for the Falcons and, yada, 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 young quarterbacks.
Yada, yada.
Shut up. This is a 20-point win for the Falcons. Colts minus 3.5 at the Titans. Look, I don't know how the hell that's the line, but the Colts find ways to win games and the Titans find ways to lose games. And they also find ways to not cover spreads if you're in Tennessee. So I am all over Colts minus 3.5. Chargers minus 2.5 at home against the Broncos. Broncos are a weird team this year. Bo Nix, a little wish-washy. But I am really all in on the Chargers ending up being one of the best teams in the NFL. I think their defense is legit, and I think Justin Herbert has all the pieces with Madison Beer and Joe Alt he needs to be successful. Quentin Johnson actually playing like a first round, whether or not we want to admit to it. Cowboys plus 1.5 at Chicago. The Bears are the easiest team to bet against every single week, and I'm going to keep doing this as long as I live. I've been doing this the last couple of years. Chicago never has a winning record against the spread on the season. They are always the preseason, darlings of the NFL, and they never live up to the hype. It's not even Caleb's fault this year. Honestly, I think it's just bad coaching. I think Ben Johnson is doing an awful job to start the year.
Tough.
And, yeah, the Cowboys are going to rout them here. And last pick, Chiefs minus 5.5
Whoa.
at the Giants. What?
The Chiefs? You're
Might
betting
Riding
the
with the
Chiefs?
Chiefs.
Yeah, Mike, when I'm feeling this hot and I'm seeing the board like I am,
Doesn't matter what
I don't have biases
I
on
like
teams.
it.
People think I picked bias. You cannot pick 68% on a season if you're picking bias.
I like it.
There's no such thing as luck in sports. It's about the work you put in. And look, the Kansas City Chiefs are 0-2. They are going into the New York Giants.
It's a must win.
Not only is it a must win,
It's a must
this is a must blow them the out and say, I'm still the Kansas City Chiefs. If this is a close game, morale collapses.
Mahomes loves
in
close
this game.
games, though.
It's not going to happen. Chiefs in a rout.
Wow. I love it. And I'm also going to stay hot right there with you. So, kicking it off,
Say hot with me.
we're staying hot. Staying hot with his mortal. Packers minus 8.5 at the Browns. This is an easy cover.
Damn right.
This is an easy line. Just bet it. Continuing, Colts Titans under 43.5. Look, I just don't see many points. Titans are awful.
Sure.
They really have no offense. And the Colts, while they probably will win, I don't see them putting up 41 by themselves. So that's that. Bengals Vikings over 41.5. This is the battle of backup quarterbacks, but they have shit to prove. They're going to prove it.
Is JJ McCarthy for sure out?
They are both for sure out. It's Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning.
I mean, that's a legacy.
It's
game.
I
absolutely
avoided that
electric.
game on my card because I wasn't sure.
That's fair. I love it. Over. Chargers minus 2.5. Exactly what Tyler said. They are looking like the real deal. I don't like saying that because they share a city with me, but they're looking decent. Cowboys Bears under 50.5. Again, two shit teams. We thought this is going to be Dak's big year. It's not really Dak's big year until proven otherwise. So under.
Still holding on that.
Yeah, maybe, but under. Rams Eagles over 44.5. I'm convinced that these are two high-powered offenses, especially the fact that Saquon Barkley is probably going to put 225 plus on our head because our run defense is non-existent. But we also have two amazing wide receiver ones in Puka and Devontae who can each go for 125 by themselves. So, I like the over there. And then lastly but not leastly, Rams plus 3.5. I'm riding. Let's go. Let's stay hot. Yeah, a lot of totals. I don't know why, but
Mario.
felt drawn.
All right, starting off the card, Texans plus 1.5 against the Jaguars. Jaguars coming off, I think, a demoralizing loss, especially to a backup quarterback. And then Texans desperate to get a win. I think they get it in this spot. Falcons minus 4.5 against the Panthers. Everyone's already said what needs to be said about this game.
Yep.
Eagles minus 3.5 against the Rams. Chargers minus 2.5 against the Broncos. Like they're saying, Chargers might be legit this year. Cowboys plus 1.5 against the Bears. Fading the Bears might be a new strat. Who knows? Colts minus 3.5 against the Titans. Another strat, fade the Titans. Packers minus 8.5 against the Browns. Another third strat, fade the Browns. That's the holy trinity right there.
Dude, it works so well.
Yeah, it's great.
It might
People
work.
are
It might
thinking
just
it
be
works so well.
easy money. 49ers minus 1.5 against the Cardinals. Mac Jones was slinging it.
Yeah.
And this 49ers team is they're playing pretty inspired. And the Cardinals love to just choke games away. So Chiefs minus 5.5 against the Giants. They're getting their first win. They're going to win by 10. And Ravens minus 5.5 against the Lions.
Well, there you have
like
it.
it.
There are the cards. Every week we give out $500 if our mortal parlay hits. Quickly, we're going to recap that for you. If these 4 picks we're about to say hit, and you are subscribed and comment on the video, this video or the college video, do both for double the entries. You're entering the parlay. Ryan, why don't you start? Tell them your mortal.
Rivalry game, absolute lock. Oregon minus 34.5 versus Oregon State. Murder, free.
Yeah, as Mike hinted at earlier, Packers minus 8.5 at Cleveland. That is my mortal.
We're going to go over to Atlanta. Falcons minus 4.5 at the Panthers. Panthers suck.
And down to Florida, we got the U.
Florida.
We got the U Miami
Shout out,
minus 7.5 against Florida.
There it is.
Bang.
Good episode, gentlemen.
Always.
NFL Week 3. We're staying locked in. Follow the channel. We're doing live reactions and content to all of these games. So stay subscribed. Follow the TikTok. Follow the Twitter. And drop a subscribe if you're new here. Mike, what should they hit?
They got to roll down a little bit and hit the notification bell and go ding.
And we will see you next week. Enjoy the games.
Bang.